different places in turn, and you're all going to do a short, just 5-minute presentation about your ospreys. We're going to start with Edith Weston here in Rutland, and then we're going to go to the Basque Country, to Urdaibai, and then we're going to the Gambia. And hopefully, with a bit of luck, we might also have Ian from America with his very own osprey as well. So I'm going to pass you over to the children here at Edith Weston, who have got a few things to tell you. And what I've just got to remind them is to speak really loudly and really slowly. And when you're not speaking, if you could turn your microphones off on Skype, that would help us as well. Okay? Right. Okay, children, you all ready? So we're going to start here at Edith Weston.
Osprey's Migration by Eloise Green Year 4. Ospreys leaving for their winter home. S. Soaring through the blue grey sky. P. Picturing their African trip. R. Rutland Humanistan. E. Every day is hard work dying. Y. My osprey home.
Goodbye, Ospreys, by Mundu. Oh, Ospreys flying away to sunny fields to relax. S. Some might not make it. P. Pray, they're coming. R. Ready for another journey. E. Even fish is scared. Y. You're so amazing.
Osprey Migration by Charlie Brumfield, Year 3. Ospreys gliding, ospreys riding, ospreys catching fish for their babies. But where are you? I really miss you. I have slipped here, I'll see you again at Rutland Water. Oh, I understand. Chosen 4. Ospreys by Cody Year 4. So ospreys are unique at catching fish. They are leaving for their winter home because England is cold and they're going somewhere warmer. Outstanding at keeping away intruders. S. Super at laying eggs and keeping them safe. P. Perfect at catching fish. R. Fish for their babies. E. Excellent at feeding their babies. Y. Yummy food. Yeah, I'm on 6.
Anything you'd like to say to the children?
Hi.
Okay, everyone, so that's just some poems from here in Rutland. Of course, the ospreys have just left here. We had our one satellite-tagged osprey who flew over Urdaibai, and she's now in Senegal, so she's just up the coast from you in Tangier in the Gambia. So she'll be there for about another 5 months before she comes back to Rutland Water. So that's Rutland. Our ospreys have all gone. How about the Urdaibai Bird Centre?
Hello. Good afternoon. My name is Xavier. I am going to make a review of the project. The bird project started 7 years ago. We made a lot of things. For example, we studied the stork recovering project. We have a webcam in the school and we watch a great deal. We have feathers in the school, and we made bird watching. 4 years ago we started with the Osprey project. We followed the Osprey 30 and the Urdaibai Ospreys in their migrations.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Elena and I'm going to explain the work we made last year. We made 2 videos, a film about the recovery project and a bird show. The melody we have chosen is called Martxa baten lehen notak, the first note of a march. And a bird show explains Urdaibai Osprey recovery project. We also made 3 Skype calls, 2 internationals and one for schools with schools from the Basque Country. We also took part in the logo contest. Now, students from Urretxindorra are going to explain the plan the last year.
Hello, my name is Anime. We are very happy this year because from all the Ospreys gone to Africa, 4 of them came back. 3 Ospreys came to our country, Urdaibai, and 1 to Asturias, 200 kilometers from here. They were all male. Ospreys have already gone to Africa.
Hello, my name is Aina, and we have seen this year. These ospreys have done their way to our country. So we are willing to have them here in Urdaibai again next year, making their nest and reproducing.
Hello, I am Naya. Ospreys do their migration way to Africa. That's why we are thinking of working on an Africa country, Congo, analyzing the reality and afterwards writing an article for the school magazine.
Hi, Ayan. Can you hear us? No. Estamos prestando.
Ahí está el
Well done, that's fantastic. And
Thank
it's really
you.
nice to hear about how successful the Ospreys have been in Urdaibai this year. That's brilliant news. Right, now we're going to the Gambia, to Tandy Low Basic School. So I'll hand you over to Jane.
Thank you very much, team, for your time. And then I have Tanjiro Basic School. We have few points to read and of course a song. So here we are. Team, can you hear me? Can you hear me, team?
Yeah, we can hear you fine. Yeah, perfect.
So we have some points here to read and then a song for you people from Tanjelo Basic School, the Gambia, Africa.
Look. I'm going to read a poem. We, children of Tanjelo Basic School, long back, especially with Osprey. Osprey is an important bird and contribute to the ecosystem. Birds generate income to our country. Friends from Rutland and orphans come around to watch this bird. This friend assist school and make new friends here. We welcome you all. Thank you. one osprey along the bar. Osprey provides food is fish because it's from the sea. Here comes Lisa. Here comes Osprey. Osprey builds his nest from the trees to sea. On the shore, Osprey stays up the sky, searching for food. Then he quickly sleeps and fly away. Welcome, Lisa. Welcome, Osprey. After my name is Hildo, we have a story about Osprey. Osprey, oh, over and over he likes me. S, seeing him is good. P, people love him fishing stand, finish stand. R, river Gambia has a lot of fish for me. E, early in the morning we see the sunset. Y, here and here we respect me.
Okay. And then finally we have a song collectively, we'll sing it together so that you can hear that as well. Okay, go ahead. 1, 2, 3 after the prayer. Okay. How are you going to sing? You're going to say it or? Okay, right.
Good afternoon to everybody. My name is Maria Guajardo from Tanjelo Bidezko. We have a song to sing. We have a song to sing about Osprey. After the count to 1, 2,
Okay, that's Osprey is quick, Osprey is smart.
Fantastic. Well done, everybody in Gambia. That was really brilliant.
North American ospreys go all the way down to South America, not to Africa, to places like Brazil and Venezuela and Colombia. So we started out with 7 birds. Unfortunately, we've lost 2 of them so far, so we have 5 right now. 2 of them are in Venezuela, there are 2 still in Cuba, and 1 in Haiti and the Dominican Republic. So they're on their way, heading south. They've got to make a very dangerous crossing of the Caribbean Sea to get to South America. We had one very interesting bird this year, which unfortunately died, but before it died, it showed us something really quite extraordinary that we hadn't expected. We had a bird that we put a transmitter on up here in New Hampshire, and it headed south the very next day after we tagged it, and ended up in Rhode Island, which is a different state, about 220 kilometers away, so quite a distance. And what this bird did was that it force adopted itself. Hey, we can see you now in England. Your video just popped up again. So what this bird did was it flew 220 miles and was adopted into another nest. And so it landed on this other nest in a different state, 200 kilometers away, and was getting fed by the male osprey at that nest. So it proves that ospreys will adopt other chicks. I know that you've seen that at Rutland, where some of the birds will move around between nests, but we've never seen it when they've gone that far, gone over 200 kilometers, and been adopted into another nest. So as you can see, we've got this osprey here on my wrist. This is an osprey that we've had here at the Squam Lakes Natural Science Center, which is where I work. We've had her for 3 years now, and she came into us unable to fly. She has a wing injury, but she's really in very good shape, and she's really doing well. We use her in programs all the time. You can see she's very comfortable being on the glove. She's going to come in and say hello to you. Hello. And she's spread her wings. And she gets used in programs all the time. So she travels all over the States. She's very comfortable to go into a box and travel around. And so she helps to teach people here about ospreys, because we have a very active program highlighting what we're doing with ospreys. And there are people tracking our ospreys and your ospreys over in Europe. They follow the ones from Rutland, and they follow the ones from Roy Dennis up in Scotland, as well as from Finland and all the other ones that are being tracked. So over here in the US, there's a great interest in ospreys. There are a lot of ospreys over here, all over the States, making a terrific recovery. We have many, many thousands of ospreys, and the majority of them migrate down through Cuba and down into South America, where they spend the winter months. So it's great to have this bird. It's unfortunate that she ended up in captivity, but because she's not able to fly and she's not able to live in the wild, then we're able to keep her here and give her a great life. She gets to fish every day, and she's very happy. We put her inside for the winter because she doesn't do well with the cold, snowy winters that we have here in New Hampshire. It's about to get very, very cold, and so she does not do well on the outside. So she has a lovely heated indoor space to keep her warm through the winter months, so that she's in good shape, and then she goes out again next spring. So she's a really fun bird. I spend time with her every day. She's very used to being around me. She still gives me a little grief every once in a while. She doesn't like to get touched too much. But let me tell you about some of our other birds that we're following. One of the other juveniles that we tracked is called Juliet. Now, do any of you go online and follow? Are you following the North American birds on the WOW website? Have you seen Juliet and Donovan? Are you able? Have you been following Donovan and Juliet? No. Yes. Okay. So those are a mother. Those are Donovan and his daughter Juliet are traveling south. Now Juliet is actually leading the pack. He's surprising us already. That is quite tough. And her father is not far behind her. He's in the Dominican Republic right now. In fact, he probably has crossed the Caribbean. The last data that we got, he was about to head across. So it's really fascinating to watch a father and daughter, a chick and her father, migrating and see where they end up. I'm curious to see if she goes to a similar location to where Donovan spends his winter. We've been following Donovan for 3 years now, and so we know exactly where he goes in the winter months. Does anyone have any questions about the ospreys here in North America, or about the osprey that I have here on my wrist? Does anyone have any questions?
No.
Venga, Elena, cuestión.
Ian, we have a question in England. How old's your osprey?
What's that?
How old is your osprey?
Well, we've had her here at the Science Center for 3 years, and when she came in, when she was picked up, she was already in adult plumage, so we don't know if she was already 10 years old or just 1 year old. I suspect she was fairly young. As you probably know, the juveniles tend to get into more trouble than the experienced adults, so the fact that she ended up on the ground unable to fly makes me think that maybe she was fairly young when we picked her up, but we really don't know. She could be 20 years old, or she could be just 4 or 5 years old.
Okay. Thank you, Ian.
A question from the Gambia. He's asking, where did your ospreys normally fish in Italy?
Could you say that again? Where do they?
They fish. You know, in the Gambia here, we have river and the ocean. So where did they normally fish in America? He asked.
What type of fish?
No. Where they normally fish?
Where do they normally fish?
Yeah.
So they fish here mostly we have both freshwater and saltwater ospreys here, the same species of course, but we have a lot of coastal areas and a lot of rivers. So most of the ones here in New Hampshire are fishing on rivers and on small lakes, and they're able to get a lot of different varieties of fish, things like yellow perch, herring, trout. They love trout over here, but then there are a lot of them that are fishing down in the coastal areas, in estuaries and in tidal parts, and they are getting a variety of different fish down there. Things like what we call menhaden, which are a type of closely related to herring. And these birds are able to go back and forth. We have some birds that are living on the coast, but they go inland because we're following them with transmitters. We're quite surprised. One of our birds, Stadler, even though he lived right in an estuary, he would travel quite far inland to go to a reliable place where he could get fish. So, of course, when they're down in South America, they're in completely different sort of habitats. They're down in the jungles there of South America, feeding mostly on rivers. Some of the big rivers, like the Orinoco River and the Amazon, have lots of ospreys that hunt there.
Any questions at Urdaibai?
Yes, we have a question from our country. Who are the main risks for ospreys in America?
That's a great question. The main risk, generally in North America, ospreys are doing pretty well. The populations are increasing. There are a lot of nest platforms put up for them. But even having said that, the thing that we're finding, surprisingly, we've lost several birds in the last couple of years to collisions with vehicles, where they're building highways close to large bodies of water. We're guessing that the osprey, as they come down, they grab a fish, and as they're taking off, if they're crossing a highway, they're getting hit by big trucks. We've had one hit by a plane, one of our satellite birds that was dead at the end of a runway at a major airport down in Washington. We've had one hit by a train. So there are certainly some issues with transportation. The other big issue that we have here, the big predator, which is a natural predator, is great horned owls. So the big owl that we have here, which is sort of very similar to the eagle owl that you have over in Europe. It's a big, powerful owl, and we certainly have lost ospreys to great horned owls. The other issue that we're noticing, which is going to be very interesting to see, and it's sort of a success story, but maybe trouble for ospreys, is that we now have more and more bald eagles. The population of bald eagles in North America is really increasing, which is great news for bald eagles. It's a great success story, but we're seeing more and more conflicts between ospreys and bald eagles. And in fact, one of the nests that's on a webcam this year up in Maine had two osprey chicks, and a bald eagle flew in and carried off and ate the two osprey chicks. So we're seeing more and more conflicts between eagles and ospreys. That's going to be interesting to see over the coming years. But the main threat down in South America, there's still some fish farms where they get shot. They have a very dangerous crossing that they need to do across the Caribbean, and if we get more severe hurricanes with climate change, we're likely to see more losses of ospreys as they're making that crossing. But generally in North America, the story is pretty good. We don't get a lot of them shot. People are very enlightened about ospreys, so we're very lucky that the majority of ospreys do pretty well.
Thank you. Just a question we want to ask, because people here are concerned about if local people didn't know that ospreys are within you and how important ospreys is, because you can see ospreys are linking the world together, making the world very small. Is American people, they realize how important ospreys are, and they're taking very good care of ospreys? This is a question from one of the students.
Yeah, I think they are. I think they realize that they're very... The thing about ospreys is, they're such a charismatic species. They're large, they're obvious, they catch fish, they build big nests. A lot of ospreys here nest very close to people. They're nesting on light towers and parking lots. They're nesting on cell towers all over the place now. And so people come in contact with ospreys a lot. People also love to recreate and see ospreys. And so ospreys for a long time have been well looked after in North America. People realize that they're special. They realize they're not a threat in any way to people. So generally, we don't have a lot of cases of ospreys being shot or trapped or poisoned or anything like that. We don't have to worry about nest security. People are not stealing eggs or things like that, which used to be a big problem over there in the UK, particularly in Scotland. So ospreys are generally well liked here in North America. People are delighted to have them so close to them. There are a lot of organizations that monitor them. So yeah, generally North Americans are very, very proud of their ospreys and very, very eager to protect them.
Thank you.
What is the name of the osprey?
In fact, we actually don't give the birds that we have in our collection here. Here at the Science Center, we have over 75 animals. We are also a zoo, so we have a lot of native New Hampshire wildlife, but we don't give them names. It's just a policy that our staff has so that people don't think of them as pets. So we don't, she's just Osprey. It's the only osprey we have, so we don't really have to give her a name. We think of her as an ambassador for her species.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. That's really fantastic. Really good to see your osprey as well. Now, we just have a question in Rutland, and this is for the Gambia. Have you seen lots of ospreys arriving in the last few weeks?
You have seen ospreys now fitting around. Who want to answer that question? Who want to answer that question? Yes. Yes? Okay, answer the question.
We see a lot of young Indians at the river. They used to fish in the river. They used to catch fish. And they eat it.
Okay, if you don't understand what he's saying, it's like they see a lot of ospreys at the moment fishing all in their sea, because they live just by the sea. It's like a few kilometers from the sea. It's just less than a kilometer from the sea, so they see ospreys every day.
Fantastic, thank you very much. Now, has anybody else got any more questions for anyone?
Any question for English people? Oh. Did English people eat osprey, he asked?
Can you say that again, JJ?
He said whether English people eat osprey like African.
Do we eat them?
Yes.
No, we protect them.
Venga, bueno, ahora sí lo termino, muchachos.
Mira qué emoción.
Okay, is that everything then? Okay, well, I think. Thank you very much, everybody. That's been a really good call. It's been great to talk to you all, and I think we should arrange another one for later in the year so we can all talk to each other again. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah? Yay. Yeah, so can you all give yourselves a big clap, please? And that's fantastic, because if you think about it, we've got 3 different continents all talking to each other: Africa, Europe and America, and that's amazing. And that shows you what an incredible bird the osprey is. So thank you all very much, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Goodbye. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Mundu.
Thanks.
Mundu ahora, ordu evidentemente.
Zer da?
La gusto de
Bueno,
hemen.
hitzelupen.
Jende agora auto, no?